Hello and welcome to this episode of DJ Force X in Conversation. I am chatting to Neil Starr. He is the frontman of Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons band. This is the second part of my Record Store Day kind of trilogy, if you will. But this they're actually releasing a cover of Hawkwind's classic Silver Machine on Record Store Day this year, which is Saturday. As of releasing this, it's in a couple of days' time. Also, the guys, they're out on tour right now as well with Ugly Kid Joe. Ugly Kid Joe are doing a 25th anniversary of America's Least Wanted album. Yep, 25 years. I'm going to be catching them on Record Store Day down in Brighton, so if anyone is down that way when I'm down there, come say hi. Let me know via the socials if you are going to be there, or if you're a mate of mine listening. Just let me know if you're going to be in Brighton. Because I'm going to be down there for most of the day, but I'm going to be at the morning. I'm going to be at 101 Collectors Records in Farnham to see Andy there, the owner of that shop, and maybe pick up some releases, some Record Store Day releases, along with maybe some others from here and there. There's a couple of albums that I'm after, but there's a couple of releases on that day. But do check out Record Store Day website, the UK website, .co.uk or .com if you're in the States, and just check out the releases. Like 400 plus this year, various bands and stuff, but look for something special. But yeah, I'm not going to keep you much longer from the interview itself, because I've got not much else to say right now, apart from if you could give us a review on iTunes or Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or however you're listening to this. If it has a review system, please give us some feedback on there, because I've dropped all advertising from the show now, so I'm really looking for something a bit more grassroots to try and generate some interest in the show. And thank you for those that have downloaded or streamed this already. I do appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy this interview. This is Neil Starr from Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons. Enjoy. Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no worries. And so you are Neil. You are the vocalist, correct, of Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons?
Yes, I sing. Yeah. I'm the only non-Campbell in the band. The only
non-Campbell? Okay.
Yeah.
So tell me about that, because obviously I know it's called Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons. Are they all Campbells, or is it literally just because you're all kind of younger than him? So
everybody in the band is Phil's son, apart from myself. None of them are bastards. I'm sure Phil's wife would like me to clarify that.
Okay.
But it just sounded a good name, so we went with it. And so I'm the only non-Campbell, which has its benefits. I don't need to get involved in family disputes and whatnot. But then I don't get invited around for Christmas dinner either, so it's got its ups and downs.
Yeah, I was going to say you probably don't get invited to the family gatherings and whatnot.
They have a pretty spectacular Christmas.
I can imagine by
photos I've seen.
Yeah, so I can imagine they do, knowing of Phil's Phil's former life, if you will, in the music industry. Obviously, he's now formed this band as well. And you guys released was it an EP at the end of last year? Beginning of this year?
2018 now. I think actually it was the end of 2016.
Was it really that long ago?
I think it was, yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully I'm not messing that up. I think it was.
Sorry. I'm still, because I know it's still young into this year, and I still think last year is 2016. So it might.
We did that on Phil's Motorhead's imprint label on UDR, it went down really well, and then we got offered a few shows and a few festivals, which was great. We did some shows at Guns N' Roses, which was particularly mind-blowing. Yes. And from that, then we got offered a record deal with Nuclear Blast in the summer of 2017, and they seemed a great bunch of people and a great label. And I know Phil had a few close friends in bands who are on that label, and he spoke to them, and they all had really good things to say. So we decided to sign to Nuclear Blast, and we released the debut album in January, just gone.
Okay, yes, yeah. Yeah, and I've got a couple of the tracks from that. Dark Days was the most recent one, wasn't it? Like,
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Gap.
yeah.
And then it was Welcome to Hell. There was one prior to that.
Yeah, that was one. Yeah, the one before. Yeah.
Yeah, both great tracks. Been playing them on my show.
Awesome.
And been playing them out because I DJ out and about as well at rock clubs and stuff. So I played Welcome to Hell a couple of times on my set list for that. So
amazing. Welcome to Hell. I want to play Hull, so we can do Welcome to Hull.
Yes.
we're yet to have the tour date in Hull, but we'll keep working on that.
Yeah, keep working on it. There's a few venues there, and it is hell if you've never been there before. So.
Yeah.
No disrespect to Hull. I played there many times in my previous guys. So, but yeah, it's Hull.
The Adelphi, I think, is one springs to mind.
Yeah, the Adelphi, and there was this. Yeah. I can't for the life of me remember. There was this pub that we played. We actually stayed overnight in it as well because it was kind of the gig out of the way, but they let us stay on the couches in their place and stuff. But I can't remember the name of it.
I don't think I've been lucky enough to be graced to play in there.
No,
I remember the Adelphi. I mean, I'll never forget the Adelphi.
Yes, that was one of the good circuit venues. So
it was some good nights there actually.
Yes.
Over the years.
Yeah. Cool. So, how did you come to be in this group? How did you guys come to form? Because obviously, you've already told me it's Phil and his sons.
Yep.
So, how did you get involved?
The basic thing, well, I mean, I've known Phil's sons for a long time, just through music. You know, I was in one band, they were in different bands, and we'd find ourselves playing shows together locally in South Wales. Yeah, because we played similar genres of music, and Todd, his oldest son, actually played guitar for one of my bands for one album cycle. Okay. So at that point, that was when I first met Phil, because he came to watch Todd play a gig with us when we were with that band. So that's when Phil kind of first heard me sing, and then about 4 years ago, it was Todd's birthday, and he arranged a big bash, and he had a band playing, and he'd agreed with the band that were playing that he could get up and play a few songs with his brothers and his dad.
Nice.
And he said, would I sing? Because none of them wanted to sing. So that was the first time we actually got on stage together as the band, that we are now.
Yeah.
We just played covers, I think we played Come Together by the Beatles and Superstition, Stevie Wonder, and a few just, fun songs. And then Phil kind of said he enjoyed it and would like to do it again. Obviously, at the time, he's in Motorhead, so he didn't have loads of time on his hands to be going and playing gigs with someone else. But we did manage to do probably 8 to 10 gigs a year for the first 2 years, maybe, Okay. We did it under the name of Phil Campbell's All-Star Band. He thought it was funny that my surname is Starr.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of the play on words. And I don't think a lot of people got it, which is why we decided to, when we decided to write original material as a band, we decided to change the name to something else, which is as we are today. But yeah, it all came from a party that Todd had for his birthday, and I think everyone enjoyed it on stage, and that kind of led onto what we've got now.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. I mean, like you said at the start, you got to play with Guns N' Roses on their recent. I mean, that must have been. I mean, Guns N' Roses are my all time sort of. In fact, they got me into the rock scene when I was a kid, and seeing them kind of back together as well. I unfortunately I missed that initial run of shows because they didn't. I was actually living over in the States.
Oh, okay.
And they came to Orlando. And I was in Tampa, but I couldn't get over to Orlando on that particular day, which was a real shame because I really wanted to see them in that current run.
It's amazing as well. The show, they're incredible. I mean, I don't know anyone who saw the gig that I know has said they were disappointed. Everyone's was blown away with it. I was blown away watching them every night.
Yeah, that was the thing that a lot of people were saying. They said they were amazing. They were all on form because before I've seen when. It was just sort of Axl as the sort of original member going out, and I saw those shows, and it just didn't seem to have the fire from when I've watched when I've seen them previously. Yeah. And then when obviously you get Slash, you get Duff back, you get all that kind of come in, and you just the fire's there now. That spark that they had, and I mean, I mean, I can't even imagine what it was like because I wasn't there. But you were there as you know, supporting them. Did you get to like meet them, or was it all very kind of like?
Yeah,
you know.
I mean, I didn't meet Axel actually. I met everyone else.
Okay.
The kind of the best thing was I was in the after the last show. I was in the dressing room, but I was only on my own. I think everyone else was still packing down, and I think Phil had maybe gone to catering or something. And there's a knock on the door, and I open it up, and it's Duff and Slash.
Oh,
and I was
amazing.
like, "Oh my god, come in!" You know, what do you do in it? What do you actually do in that situation? But they came. Obviously, they come to see Phil because Phil knows them really well, and but you know, I told them he wasn't there, and they could have just left, but they didn't. You know, they were like, "Oh, do you mind if you stick around?" I was like, "Of course not." You know, and they chatted to me, didn't know me from Adam. You know, but that was like the really cool thing for me was, you know, like they don't need to stay and talk to somebody they don't know. You know, they're Guns N' Roses at the end of the day. They've got better things to be doing, but they were just chatting to me and making me feel at ease. And then obviously Phil came back and they all had a bit of a catch up and stuff. But yeah, I got to meet them, and I saw the drummer a few times because he was really complimentary of our band. He watched us a few times actually, and I didn't want to bother anybody, you know. But I was walking down a corridor one day, and he stopped me like, "Hey man, how's it going?" I'm like, that's just so cool, you know. You guys don't need to be even giving me the time of day, but you know they're doing it because they must just be genuinely nice guys, and it's nice to know that these big, huge artists can sometimes be just regular human beings. I guess we all are just human beings at the end of the day.
That's fine. I mean, that's good to know because it's that thing of I've always kind of wanted to meet them, but you know that kind of don't meet your heroes type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nice to hear because I've heard consistent stories that those two are particularly nice. Obviously, there's sometimes you get those odd stories where they've been kind of, you know, a little bit, you know, difficult, but everyone gets into that mindset.
Yeah, and also like, you know, they're regular people too. They've probably got problems going on of their own, and you know, it's like if you talk to me, sometimes I might be a prick. You know, it's not because I want to be that all the time, but it's just if you're stressed out or something's happening, and you know. But obviously, we didn't get to meet Axel, so I can't confirm any of that stuff. But
he is the enigma, so.
Yeah, they did kind of float in and out. It was kind of cool. These blacked out cars turned up like military style operation like 10 minutes before the show. Yeah, and then like the backstage area was like completely cornered off. You know, during the last two songs of their set because you knew they were going to come straight back out and go off. And it was amazing to see it all in operation. And yeah, it was just a really great experience, and obviously one that you never, as a musician, expect to be lucky enough to do. But yeah, I mean, we did it, and
it's one of those things like you're saying. You're playing like a party, and then a couple of years later, you're playing arenas or stadiums with Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, 110,000 in Imola racetrack. You know,
that's crazy.
I literally couldn't see the end of people. It just seemed to go on forever. It was insane.
And how are you guys received on those shows? I mean, it must be real difficult to kind of step in before something like Guns N' Roses because people are there for that, you know?
Yeah.
I mean...
I was a bit worried about that, actually, before. That was my biggest concern, actually, was like knowing that a lot of people at those gigs aren't even interested in watching anybody but the headline band. But I don't know, we've been really lucky with support slots we've done where we've, you know, I don't know if it is just luck or whatever, or maybe it's just we've got something that the crowd can connect to straight away, but it always seems to go down really well. We're yet to be bottled off, which is good. And it was the same for those shows, you know. It went down as well as we could definitely have expected. You know, our highest dreams of achievement for those shows were definitely met. It went down really well, and I guess it helps we can drop a couple of Motorhead songs in there, and it's legit, I suppose, because Phil's written those songs, and you know, I guess that really helps. We can play something that's familiar to people, even though they might not know our band. You know, they'll know those songs without a doubt. So that was that's probably something that does help us out a lot.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Sorry, my phone I'm just turning it off. Let's go again. There we go. Cool. And so with that in mind, with the current one, you got a tour coming up, haven't you? At the end of April, you start a few shows.
Yeah, we're doing some shows with Ugly Kid Joe, which, you know, I know Whitfield Crane and Phil go way back. good friends. For me personally, it's kind of cool because, like you were mentioning Guns N' Roses earlier as being like one of the bands that got you into rock music, and for me, Ugly Kid Joe would be one of those bands. You know, I discovered Guns N' Roses a little bit after that. You know, for some reason, like I Hate Everything About You was the massive song at the time, and it was just one of the first rock bands I heard of, and you know, to get play some shows with them is for me a bit of a cool thing, and it was one of my highlights of the summer. Last summer we did the Guns N' Roses shows, but like it rivaled the Guns N' Roses shows for me. At Hellfest we did a duet with Whitfield Crane, you know, which some people might think is funny that I compare those two things together, but you know, I really owe a lot of like what I got into rock music wise because of Ugly Kid Joe, and it was a bit of a highlight for me of the summer. That's getting awesome to sing Born to Raise Hell with him. So looking forward to spending a few days with them, in the UK. I think we got 5 shows together.
Yeah, I can't believe that album's 25 years old like that.
Yeah, I know. How like
I keep seeing these like reunion or album like tours like the Ugly Kid Joe one, and I'm like, is it really 25? Is it really 20? I just saw Pitch Shifter have just announced like a 4-date run.
I wasn't sure if that was April Fool or not, but that is genuine, is it?
It's genuine, yeah. They've continued
amazing
to advertise it. All the other musicians that I know, like from Earth Tone 9 and the Blueprint, have all said, yeah, it's happening. So
that's amazing.
I know, and that's been 20 years since pitchshifter.com as well. So I'm like, oh my God, it's my youth just kind of...
I played some shows with Blueprint back in the day, actually, with my old band. So Mark Clayton's in them, right?
Yes, he is, yeah.
So it'd be good if I can get to some of those shows and see that.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Great bands.
What band were you in before, if you don't mind me asking?
It's called Dopamine. It was like a emo rock band. We were on Golf Records.
Yeah, I remember
back in the day.
I remember you guys.
So we did like I think it was Blueprint's first tour. I think we opened up on that tour and did some shows with Earth Tone 9 and with Under Oath, a few tours of them, and Beloved and a few of the American sort of post-hardcore bands at that time. Yeah, that was cool. It was look back at those times with fond memories. Yeah, hard work, you know, being a band trying to break through and
I may have seen you guys. So yes,
yeah.
I was in
probably a good chance back in 2003 to 2005. It probably would be a good chance because we were on a lot of shows with like Ent Shikari and. You know, we were all those kind of bands together, just playing as many shows we could and trying to create some kind of hype. And
nice,
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, no, I was in a band called Zero Cipher.
We definitely played shows together, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
At some point.
That's what I'm trying to think. It was a bit of a blur for me now, but yeah, no, back in the day, I was the DJ in that band. So,
well, that name rings a bell so much. It's got to be something we've done together somewhere.
we did.
Along the lines.
We released our first album off Casket, which was Coppro's like distro distribution type label.
Do you know Darren Toms?
Yes.
Yeah, so because he used to hook us up with a bunch of shows, so maybe he used to work for Golf, didn't he?
Yeah.
And,
That's crazy. There you go. Look at that.
Did you ever play with the Hurt Process?
Hurt Process.
That was Darren's band.
I don't think we did. I recognise the name, but I don't think we played shows with
Collision Course Festival and all those things that used to happen around that time.
Yeah, we did like Uxfest and stuff, and
we may well have played Uxfest together. Yeah. That might have been it.
Yeah, we did that a couple of times because that was more local to us, but we played over in Wales as well a few times.
In Cardiff?
We played Cardiff, played Newport, and then we played
TJ's is gone now.
Yeah, it has, isn't it? Is the club Ill For Back still there?
Yeah, it is. Cool. It is. It's hopefully hanging on in there.
And we played in Haverfordwest as well, which is kind of like very far into Wales. That was for us.
That's a random one. That's a pretty random one.
It was a pretty random one, but it was an all right show. There's a lot of people there, so
I don't think they get a lot of bands up that way. So I can imagine people make an effort to, you know, to come and have a good time when somebody actually takes the time to get up there. Because it's a good few hours west of Cardiff.
Yeah, no, I just remember it being a long drive through very like back roads that. And
you get to the end of the M4 and you're like, we're not there yet.
No, we're not there yet.
Another hour and a half still to go.
All the signs are just in Welsh as well. Like there's no Welsh and English. It's just Welsh. So But that was a fun drive. That was good. But yeah, no, that's kind of cool. Just sort of knowing that we may have crossed paths at some point. I think we definitely did. On to one of the things I'm featuring right now on my shows, because we're coming up to it, is Record Store Day.
Yeah.
Because you guys are actually releasing something that day.
We are.
A 7-inch for the track of a cover version.
Yes.
Is that
Silver
right?
Silver Machine, Hawkwind. I mean, it's a song that, I mean, basically the backstory is they were one of the first bands Phil ever went to see, and I think he met Lemmy when he was 12 years old as a fan of Hawkwind and got his autograph and stuff, which is a pretty cool story considering he then went on to be in a band with him for 32 years.
That's crazy.
But it's a song that he's always loved, a band he's always loved, and we were playing it in the live set anyway before we even got in to record the album, and I can't remember whose idea it was to do a version of it while we were there, but we were recording in Rockfield Studios, and apparently Hawkwind did a lot of recording there, and we found out that Lemmy named the band Motorhead there as well, so all these weird coincidences came in at the time of being there, and we had a lot of fun playing it live, and it's a track that always went down well, so I think it was one of those decisions that was made to do it while we were in the studio. And Phil asked Dave from Hawkwind to actually guest on it as well.
Okay.
Cool. I think his response was, "Well, it's raining today, Phil, so I got nothing else to do, mate. So I may as well. I'll do it." So he put some synth on it. He made it a bit more Hawkwindy-esque, I guess, and he put a little guitar solo on and added a few vocals in there, and and we decided. I think it went on the CD version of the album. It didn't go on the vinyl version of our album.
Okay.
But I said to the label that I've always wanted to release something on Record Store Day, and they made it happen, which is cool. And there's a song that we recorded in the sessions, an original one that we didn't put on the album, so that's going to be the B-side to Silver Machine. And we had some artwork. The guy who did the artwork for the album was all hand drawn, so it's like around a circus kind of theme.
Yeah,
so
I'm looking at it now. It's kind of got like the
Zoltar kind of
type thing. Yeah, so that kind of ties in with the album then, because we did like every song on the album we had a character drawn up for it. Okay.
Like a bearded lady, and all the stereotypical freak show circus type acts, and he just did another 2 characters for us for the 7-inch, which was cool, and looking forward to getting hold of a copy actually.
Yeah, cool. Me too. It's on my list for the day.
Awesome.
So it's one of those days that I really love. I mean, I love records generally. I'm a vinyl person. Like I said, I was a DJ in a band. I still DJ now. So
so it's important.
Vinyl is one of my kind of like it's my drug, if you will. So I just keep buying it. It's a dangerous thing. So
it's funny because on the actual album we got a song called "Dropping the Needle," which is about like that, what you just said there, basically, like being a bit addicted to music, addicted to vinyl, and it's my go-to format as well, if it's possible. And I just love the artwork in it. Everything looks better, and the sound is, it's unique, and So it was really cool for us that we got to do the Record Store Day thing, because it's always been something I wanted to do over the years and never actually been able to do. So this year, it's something we've managed to put together thanks to Nuclear Blast and everything. So we're chuffed to
cool. And is
get it out.
Is that just a UK exclusive one, or is it going to be released over in the States as well? I
don't know if it's the States. That's a good question. I don't know. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right.
It's going to be. I'm told it's available in Germany.
Okay.
But again, I'm not an expert, but definitely.
I can look it up on the website
in the UK and stuff.
I've been celebrating Record Store Day since the inception of it, just purely because when I was in England before I moved to the States, I was helping out a local store in my area, like with his website and everything like that, and got involved in that day. It was always good because it was just like loads of people just buying records, and occasionally there's stuff that gets released that day that I'll pick up, but normally I just go there and buy a record just as a I buy records anyway. So
Yeah,
it's just a
exactly.
normal day for me, really. But I love the whole idea behind it and supporting these independent stores and everything.
Yeah, I think that's the important thing, isn't it, as well?
It is, and I was fortunate when I moved to Florida that I had one of the biggest record stores probably in the world nearby. And every year they'd put on like about 10 bands during the day. They'd help see. It's one of those sort of like big, like as you would probably picture in your head, big American record stores.
Yeah.
But it smells like a record store. The staff.
I've been to Amoeba in LA.
Yes.
Is it something like that?
It's like that.
Bigger though, I guess.
Yeah, it's called Banana Music.
Okay.
The one in the States, and they've got like a shop front, which is like in a shopping, like sort of like little strip mall type thing. But they've got like 2 warehouses full of vinyl as well that you can go through.
Oh, amazing.
So,
is it in Tampa? In Tampa, is it?
Yeah, it's in St. Petersburg. Which is
okay. I've been to India Atlantic a few times because I got a friend who lives there. Well, you may even know him, Stuart Richardson. Used to be in Lost Prophets.
Yes.
No Devotion.
Yes.
So he lives there. So one of my other bands actually recorded an album there with him.
Okay.
But yeah, that's obviously nowhere near Tampa in relation to being down the road. But
yeah, I mean, you could travel far in the States and you get to many places. There's like,
yeah,
you know.
Well, we're going to Miami actually in October. We're doing the Chris Jericho Rock and Wrestle cruise.
Nice. That's awesome.
Luckily, actually, we did the motorboat a few years ago. It's basically the same cruise, I guess.
Yeah.
It's going Bahamas and stuff. So we get to do that again this end of summer, which is nice.
Nice. I was chatting to who was it? Can't remember the name of the band, but they were playing the 70,000 tons of metal. Cruise.
Okay, yeah.
And I was just curious. I mean, if you played on, you said you played on the cruise ships before.
Yeah, we done Wacken Cruise last April.
Yeah,
as well. We've done a couple. Yeah.
What is that like? I mean, from being a musician like myself, I've played in various venues in various situations, but never on a boat.
It's pretty unique.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool because you play so many venues, and then it's harder to get a situation where you're out your comfort zone a little bit. But when you're playing on a pool deck, looking, with the opportunity of stage diving into a swimming pool, you got to take it. It's got to be done. So
yeah, I can. I mean, I've been on cruises, so that's why I'm like trying to figure it out because I did a cruise for my like honeymoon and then for our anniversary, and I see how how relaxing and how it can be going through either the Caribbean or through the Mediterranean. But just like going on a cruise when it's just full of just sort of metal bands and having that
2,000 metalheads.
It's just I can't, for some reason I can't picture it. I've been to festivals, I've played whatever, but for some reason on a cruise ship it just seems so alien. So I was just curious how that felt.
So many black t-shirts.
Yeah, I was going to say
in boiling hot heat. It doesn't make sense, but you can't change your morals for a whole day. You got to stick to your guns.
No, you do. Yeah, and
it's cool. It's obviously a lot of drink going around, and but it's like like most rock and metal shows, like most people are easygoing, and
yeah,
I didn't see one little bit of trouble on the boat at all, no fighting or anything, and bearing in mind everybody's completely off their faces all day long and all night, so it's I'm surprised that more people didn't die, I suppose, because drowning in pools after all that alcohol, but
or falling overboard, anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But the Wacken one we did in April was funny because we were playing a pool deck there, and the wind was so strong they had to have like stage hands on stage holding the amps, stopping them falling over.
That's crazy.
So and you're moving around on stage, jumping around, and you're not sure where you're going to land because when you left the ground was in a different place, and it's definitely like a good thing, like you say, because you get kind of a bit of Groundhog Day, don't you, when you're playing every day and every venue. It's like all your friends like, oh, you must be amazing, you see in the world, and say, well, I see 4 walls inside a venue every day.
Yes,
it could be Wales every day. You don't get to see a lot of the cities you go to, unfortunately, but. No. Yeah, I guess when you're playing on a cruise ship, it's something different and a different experience, a bit of a laugh. And
so, I mean, with that, obviously, you're kind of in a captive area, and obviously, you've been in various bands, so you're used to being close to sort of fans and people generally going to gigs and stuff. Because if you're like me, you would have hung out at the merch store and sold stuff.
Yeah,
and
exactly,
all that kind of stuff. So on the cruise ship, I'm just very curious about this. because you are in that kind of confined area, are you, as artists, do you have a separate area where you can go, or are you just kind of all there together?
Not really, no. It's kind of all for one for all. I found that strange myself, like doing the motorboat, because it's like, surely Lemmy can't walk anywhere and not be harassed 24 hours a day. There's not really a separate section. I mean, you have your room, but I guess his room would have been a bit bigger than most cabins, but yes. You don't really have a designated area you can go to. When you're playing, they've sectioned off a little backstage area for you, but everyone can see you still, really,
Yeah.
There's not really any privacy or anything like that. It is a strange setup because it's not really designed. They weren't designed for that, were they, really? So
no, that's true.
So it is a completely different kind of experience, but different for me is good because it means you're doing something a bit out your comfort zone. And
I was looking at the Chris Jericho cruise, and it was very tempting. I was just to sample it, because I've seen obviously, like you say, the Wacken and the 17,000, the Kiss cruise, and all that kind of stuff. And I just, it's something that I'm probably going to do at some point, just to see what it was like. But I just sort of getting some information from the likes of like you and a couple of the other bands that I've spoken to about it is very useful, because I just wanted to know how that kind of works. So
I'd love to do it as a punter as well. Unfortunately, because I'm singing and quite boring, I try and do the sensible thing and look after my voice so I'm not getting too many drinks down me. So until my kind of singing's done for the cruise, so until the last day, I'm kind of trying to keep it sensible. But I'd like to go on one as a full-on punter and just, really have a good time and just watch loads of bands and drink loads of beer, and it'd be great. No. Everyone I've seen on them seems to be having a great time. Yeah.
No, that's cool. I've seen pictures, so it does look like fun. I was
going to take my kids. I said to my wife, you can come. And then I saw this promo video and I was like, this doesn't look safe for kids to go on. So I said, better change that plan.
It's not the Disney cruise.
No, exactly, yeah.
Cool. So, where are we going now? Sorry, we totally took me off my notes, which is good.
Yeah, sorry about
that. No, it's good. I like that. It's all fun. So I've got a couple of questions left for you, basically, now.
Cool.
And we can sort of wrap. I can let you get on with the rest of your day. I don't know if you've got another interview coming up or not. So.
My next thing for the day is my son wants me to go and buy him a Power Rangers costume. So
okay, well, I'm not going to deny
I'm going
that,
shopping.
So.
I don't know where I'm going to get one, but the hunt will begin.
Okay, I was about to say probably online would be your best bet, but
that would be the easiest thing.
That would be the easiest thing, but unless you've got like Toys R Us are closing.
They're goners,
Smiths. You got a Smiths?
There's a Smiths, there's a Smiths not far from here, so we're going to give it a go.
My kid's got the pink Power Ranger one, so...
You got that online, though, sensible, probably.
Yeah, we got that online, yeah.
Save yourself the hassle.
Yeah, she didn't mind that, so that was all good. So I've got, like I say, a couple of questions left. So 3 top albums that have shaped the person that you are, the musician that you are.
Okay. I mean, my favourite singer is Eddie Vedder, Pearl Jam.
Cool.
So if I was to pick a favourite Pearl Jam album, it would probably be the second one, Versus.
Yeah.
I went to Woolworths to buy... I went to Woolworths on the Saturday, and the albums used to come out on the Monday.
Yes.
And it was on the counter on the Saturday, and I was like, no way. Like, this is incredible. Picked it up, went to buy it. She's like, you can't buy this until Monday. I was like, you kidding me? I kicked up as much of a fuss as I could, but she wouldn't sell it to me. I went home, I was like, Mom, this woman wouldn't sell me this album, like some kind of little brat. And she stormed up the Woolworths and knew the woman behind the counter, and she sold it to her 2 days early. So I had Versus pretty much before most people in the world, which is
amazing.
Cool. So that album's always been special for me. I'd say Rage Against the Machine, self-titled first album.
Yep.
I think that was the first. Them, along with Nirvana, were the first 2 bands I actually ever saw doing rock music. I used to watch that program on TV called The Word.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yep.
And they used to have a band on every week, and I can't remember if it was Nirvana first and then Rage second or the other way around, but I remember for 2 weeks in a row my mind was just blown.
Yeah.
about what is this music like. This isn't Barry Manilow, which is what was being played in my house constantly by my mum. So I was like, that just opened my eyes up to a completely different way of thinking of music. Actually, that's the reason I bought guitar, was to try and learn to play guitar so I could play Nirvana and Rage Against the Machine songs. And
nice.
One was a lot easier to learn than the other, for sure. Yeah. So I picked Rage first album. I'd probably go with Beatles Abbey Road maybe as a third.
Okay. Cool.
I didn't really appreciate them so much as when I was younger, but in my 20s, then I kind of really got into the Beatles, and that was probably because of Nirvana as well. But he always used to bang on about the Beatles and stuff in interviews, so
yeah,
I think it kind of made me go back, and I tried to kind of listen to music from where my idols were listening to it from, and
yeah,
and it's definitely my favorite Beatles album. Cool. So I'd say those three albums would be three pretty special ones for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I remember watching The Word and actually seeing that as well, the Nevada on it, just that kind of one of those moments you're like, yep, I made the right choice,
It's amazing. L7 was another one that stood out for other reasons.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, programs like that, I mean, I don't know, I guess kids these days have to discover stuff through YouTube, or
they do. I recently saw it was shared online, but the debut TV performance from Slipknot on TGI Friday.
Oh, I saw that as well. Yeah. I didn't see it at the time, but I saw the stuff you're on about being shared.
No, I remember seeing it at the time as well, and it was just crazy. It was like, I'd heard of Slipknot at that point because there were like these masks and 9 of them, and you're just like, oh, okay. I hadn't really kind of seen them live or anything. But then after that, I've seen them probably about 10 times at the Astoria and stuff like that in London. So
amazing. I've only ever seen them at festivals. I've never been to I've been to headlining festivals, but never been to a headline show kind of thing.
No, that Astoria show was absolutely crazy. They were jumping off the balconies and stuff into the crowd. So
yeah, it's amazing.
It was absolutely one of the craziest shows I've been to. So
Phil's got one of the suits.
Oh, really?
In the place we rehearse, they got Todd and his dad have got a studio that Todd does recording, and Phil kind of keeps his stuff in. And you open the door, and the first thing you see is the suit with the long nose.
Oh, amazing!
It's class, absolutely class. And he said he's still got the dirty, sweaty pants he used to wear as well.
Oh.
He swapped him a guitar for a suit, and he literally sent him everything he wore on that tour, so the pants and everything. It's like, that's too much.
That's
too much.
Were they washed, or were they?
No, they weren't. They were still tour fresh. So.
Beautiful. After the stories I've heard about that band, what they do pre-show and stuff, that's.
I don't want to know.
No, it's all right.
I'm innocent.
So, what are your sort of hobbies away from music, if you will? So, when you're not out and about singing and stuff, what do you do to kind of relax or get away from it if you need to?
I'm an old school gamer, so I like to play Mario and Mario Kart,
nice,
Sonic. Or I collect I like collecting stuff. So I recently finished my Star Wars collection, and I've moved on to collecting the old Sega Master System games. So that keeps me on tour. Dane, the drummer in the band as well, collects Nintendo 64 games. So we always go hunting for old retro computer game shops in all these cities we play, and
amazing,
grab ourselves some bargains. So yeah, I'm into gaming.
Yeah.
Not the new gaming though. I don't know. I've never really got into the Call of Duties and stuff. I've always kind of, for some reason, stuck with Super Nintendo and all that kind of stuff. I got a few arcade machines, so I'm a bit more 8-bit than anything else.
Yeah.
And I love football. I play as much as I can when I'm home, 5-a-side, and I like to watch it. I prefer playing it, to be honest. But yeah. So I love playing football and computer games. Between that and spend as much time with my family when I'm home, that's my life.
Amazing.
It's not too exciting, but
no. I too am a retro gamer, if you will. So
cool.
Before
awesome.
I moved, I had quite the collection of machines. I had basically all the consoles I kind of grew up with, from Mega Drive, Master System, NES, SNES, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, amazing.
I sold most of it before I left. But
you've got to. If you go to America, you can't really take it all with you.
No, not everything would work. So I was just like, I don't know if I'm coming back, kind of thing.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I'm looking to get back into that side of things. So I'm just going to sort of concentrate on one system at a time. Starting, I think, with the Mega Drive actually. So
amazing.
I've just got to pick up a machine now. I want to get the first Mark 1 version.
That's class.
Yeah,
I think I might move on to Mega Drive after the Master System one. The problem is the Master System was only there was 300 and something games to complete the collection, which I think the Mega Drive might have been over 1,000 or something.
It is, and people are still making games for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can occasionally pick up. There's a new one out, I think, came out in the last couple of months. That someone basically made the game, retrofitted a cart, and it works with the Mega Drives.
That's amazing. So, Golden Axe 15 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. But yeah, cool, man. I'll let you get off.
Nice one, dude.
That Power Rangers, like I say, that Power Rangers outfit.
All good.
Well, man, thank you.
And you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.